Hi Pisces, Bailey B here for another intuitive reading to help you explore your subconscious and see what's going on. Thank you for being here. I intend for this reading to give you something fascinating to think about. I hope you can use that information to lead you to more safety and more fulfillment. I'd like you to check in with your own intuition to see what feels true for you and only pick up what's resonating. I am going to be using the Gratitude Inspiration deck by Scholl, and then one of my favorite alternative tarot decks, illustrations by Giovanni, Caselli. Thank you to everyone who's liked the video, subscribed to my channel, or given me a tip. I really appreciate y'all. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I wanted to do a traditional Celtic cross. Remember to press the like button if you're enjoying the video, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I'm here every other day, and I'm also giving another free hour reading away to one of my first 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe for your chance to win. So yeah, I felt called to do a Celtic cross energy for you, Pisces. So we'll see what comes out in this first shuffle, and then we'll go from there. Six of Pentacles came out first, and this is going to be what's crossing you. King of Cups. We have the Ten of Wands and the grounded energy. Temperance reversed in the past. Interesting. Then we have the Knight of Swords for where your head is right now. And then the Judgment card for the near future. So let's talk about this a little bit. The Six of Pentacles is in your main energy, and it is about being given exactly what you need at just the right time. So you're not getting like an abundance here, but you are getting some help, and it's balanced help, and it's just what you're going to need for, as I can see this Ten of Wands here, there's like an ending happening. So whatever you're rebirthing into right now, you're going to have just the right amount of help. So we have the King of Cups here that came out, and whatever's crossing you is neither up nor down. It just sort of could be what's holding you back, but it can also be what will take you the extra mile here. So the King of Cups is an energy of reflecting on how you're feeling, but being very tempered with your emotions, being able to be a very stable, emotionally stable person, excuse me. You're still really pulled by your intuition and your gut feelings here with the crab at the foot of the throne. And Pisces is like the symbol around the King of Cups neck, so we're very connected with our emotions, Pisces, obviously, and the King of Cups is sort of like the epitome of this grounded, stable emotional energy where you're feeling collected and calm for the most part, but then when the sea gets a little bit turbulent, you're still like, you can feel those emotions deeply, but you know how to handle them, and you know how to ride the waves. So this is like the ultimate emotional maturity with this energy. So you may have been struggling a little bit emotionally lately with keeping your emotions stable. This could come from what's been in your past. I'm looking at the Temperance reversed here, and this might have been a bit of a frustration for you, like you felt a little off kilter. You're trying to alchemize something and, you know, mix things together, like just perfect amount of this and a perfect amount of that. You're trying your best here, but it seems like it's like not working out very well for you. Maybe you've been just not able to find a balance in the last couple of days or weeks, and it's I think it's bothering you, but it's also being left behind. The Ten of Wands is in the root of this. So you're here obviously carrying all of these burdens. It's a very heavy bundle you've got here, but you're almost home. Like, you're almost back to your village, and you brought home the bacon, and you're, you know, all of this hard work. The lizard here is a symbol of you surviving and thriving through all kinds of rough weather. And look at all this inspiration you've got with you. This person is struggling a little bit, but not necessarily, you know, like depressed or anything. In fact, I get kind of an excited golden energy from this card. So you're almost there. Whatever you're making, manifesting, bringing home, whatever this idea is that you've been working on, you're bundling it up, you're putting the finishing touches on it, and you're ready to bring home what it is that you have earned from all of this hard work. So that's what's in your roots right now. And then in your head, it looks like you've been very, very busy. The Knight of Swords is somebody who is just like rushing forward, thinking a lot. It could symbolize worries, but it could also symbolize just somebody who's really quickly going from thing to thing to thing. Lots going on, a lot of forward momentum and energy in this card. I'm seeing that the person here is having a lot of fun, but the horse looks a little overworked. So I like to use this card as a reminder of like, we have to respect our physical limits as well as our mental limits and our emotional limits. So if you've been feeling like extra tired lately, I think it's a good sign to take a nap, slow down, get some extra rest. Just do things for your body that feel restful and rejuvenating so that we can keep this momentum going. We don't get burnt out. So if that's where you are in your headspace, I would definitely recommend taking a minute to, you know, find your zen during the day and not keep feeding off of that manic energy, if you will. So what's in your future is the Judgment card. This is a wake-up call. We had this last reading, and I think it's continually this call to focus on what is bringing you joy, what is going to make you feel like you're here for a purpose, and is having you answer the call of what you kind of always knew you were meant to do here, whether it's like organizing work, political work, activism, just writing about your feelings and experiences or your opinions, being active, just about expressing yourself. And, you know, the Archangel is here calling people out of their graves. And I like to think of this obviously metaphorically. Like, sometimes we get into these daily ruts and it becomes just sort of like this. There's nothing wrong with a routine, but when you're not really feeling your days, when you're just going through the motions, and you can look back at like weeks, months, or years, and you're like, where did the time go? It flew by. Well, it did, because we weren't stretching ourselves during that period. We weren't, unless you're just in survival mode, which is another, another thing entirely, in which case, like, we have to rest and recover before we can really be productive. But this is a call to leave behind the mundane and to remember daily what you're really here for, what you're really here to contribute to the world, whether that's just, daily kindness to the people around you, or a special skill or talent that you have. It's time to focus on this, especially in the near future, here with the Judgment card. So I'm seeing a lot of growing pains here in this first initial cross. But you're definitely moving forward. You're making a lot of progress these days, and you're getting just the right amount that you need in order to survive and keep going. So if you've been frustrated and you feel like things just like aren't alchemizing right here with the Temperance reversed in the past, just know that you are almost there. You've almost brought home this giant bundle of rewards and ideas and passions, this is really going to like help you start a new, more, I was heard romantic life, you know, one that's going to really bring you pleasure and fulfillment. And it's not just going to be like this empty routine. So if you are feeling stressed out or like things aren't working, or you're just like working so hard to manifest this new thing, have hope, because you're on the verge of this turnover, and it's divinely guided here with it, the archangel really calling you to move and step into your callings. Okay, cool. So let's get out the staff here. What is in the far future for Pisces? There we go. It's the Chariot card. We have the Chariot out for the second time in 2 readings. This is also a fast-moving energy, very much like the Knight of Swords. They're both riding these really fast-moving horses that look almost strained. They're moving so quickly. But the Chariot energy, as you can see, this person is very jubilantly riding behind the horses. And even though it could go either way for this charioteer, like this horse is going this direction, this horse seems to be wanting to go the other direction, he's still just kind of hanging on for dear life and letting what's going to come, and still facing it with enthusiasm. Because, I mean, we all know that feeling, whether we're riding a bike or a motorcycle, or, you know, just going fast and you're like, woo! I don't know if you ride horses, but anything that you felt the wind in your hair and you're going for it, you know, that's the energy of this Chariot card. So we're, you know, I'm seeing you really cultivating right now something that is going to remain passionate for you into the far future. And it's because you are waking up to what really makes you feel fulfilled. And you're working really hard at it, obviously. Like I said, you haven't quite gotten all the rewards yet, but you've gotten enough, just kind of what you've needed so far, and you're really building towards your grand finale here. So the Chariot is telling me that you're going to be really feeling like you're riding high for the foreseeable future and working really hard on this. Alright, so what are we going to have in our relationships moving forward? What's Pisces' relationships going to be looking like? Haha, the 10 of Cups. This is literally the perfect relationship energy. Fulfillment, family, joy, all kinds of fun and relaxation energy here. This family is so abundant and content that they've taken time to go outside and hang out, lay in the grass, play around, and just appreciate what they have in general. And I think this is going to be what your relationships are going to start looking like. You know, when we do things to make ourselves more happy, when we embrace what our personal gifts are and start doing our hobbies or the things that actually bring us joy, it really helps us connect with the people that we know and love. They like to see us making progress. It's fun for them to watch us grow and to you know, change and build, and it really instills a sense of pride not only in ourselves but in the people around us for the things that we're accomplishing. And it also inspires other people to go after their dreams as well. You know, I like to talk a lot about leading by example rather than telling people. And it's funny because I know it's sometimes easier for us to see other people's lives more clearly and say, oh, well, you have this great talent in this one area. Why don't you just do that? Or, you know, you have friends and family who you're like, oh, you're so talented in this one thing. I could totally see you, you know, drawing or starting a YouTube channel with your expertise, or, you know, going into teaching or whatever it is that like that person is specifically gifted in. So my point is, like, when we do that for ourselves, when we're like, what am I gifted with? Even if it's just as simple as like hosting a trivia night on the weekends, or just something that really makes you happy, it inspires others, our family and friends around us, and our community, really, ultimately, to follow their own strengths and happiness. And it just makes for a better world. People feel more contented and fulfilled when they're doing what they're good at. So I see really inspiring people here around you with all of this energy you're putting into what is making you happy and what is like what are your passions, Pisces. All right, so what is your fears and hopes for the future here? What are Pisces' hopes and fears for this future? We're stepping into, oh, the Tower card. So you're afraid of change. Totally normal. Nobody wants to feel like something they've been building up from the foundation is going to be torn down. But the great thing about the Tower card is that it tears down things that don't actually serve us. This is a prison that we built around ourselves, and it's not one that is keeping us safe. It's just keeping us in jail. It's keeping us trapped. So it needed to come down, whatever this change is. And so if you can think about change in that way, it makes it a little bit easier. Like, it's uncomfortable. You're going to get wet and cold here, jumping out of this tower. It's on fire. You might lose a few things. It's very tumultuous, but it's kind of exciting, action oriented. You might, get some new opportunities, or really the reason why something like this is exciting is because you find out what you're made of, right? It's like taking a dip in like a cold lake. It's not super fun right at the beginning, but once you've like swam a ways and you make it out, you feel so accomplished that you're like, oh, I'm so glad I did that, right? So it's this feeling like I'm alive, and I don't need things that don't serve me. I am capable of upending my life, upending old habits, or getting rid of relationships that are not good for me, or even just like mental blocks. Like, I just got the thought of, maybe we're like too judgmental of other people, because I don't want to always advocate like cutting people out of your lives, but it's just this energy, if you can hold it in your mind, of feeling like you are rigid in one way of thinking or being or judging, and it's not really getting you anywhere. It's not adding you anything to your life. In fact, it's keeping you in a box. It's keeping you small and trapped and not being able to go anywhere or grow any further. So those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about getting rid of here with this Tower card. So this is in your hopes and fears spot right here. And like I said, I know change can be difficult, but it's definitely for the best here, Pisces. Okay, so what is the final outcome here for this Celtic cross pull for Pisces? The Knight of Pentacles. All right. So this is an energy of persistence, of going the long haul and really making things happening for yourself. I'm seeing this as a confirmation that it is going to be a stable financial investment for you. Whether it is something that actually makes you money, or whether it's something that leaves you rejuvenated enough to keep going in another area of your life. Like, say you just have a 9-to-5 and it's not your passion, but doing this thing on the side that is your passion is going to enable you to keep going to that 9-to-5 and whatever perks that brings you. So regardless of how it manifests, when you're following this passion and you are doubling down on the things that make you really happy, you're going to set yourself up for stability in the end. And that's the confirmation here with this Knight of Pentacles energy in your final position. So again, what I'm seeing here with this Celtic cross pull is that you're working really hard to balance work and hobbies, passions, and responsibilities, and it's getting a little tiring because so far you've really only gotten just what you need, nothing more. Not that there's anything wrong with getting just what you need, of course, like that is such a blessing in itself. So obviously be thankful for what you have at the moment, because that's going to bring you more abundance. But I know it's feeling really heavy here with the Ten of Wands, and you're getting ready. You're like, I can't add another wand, and I can't really go much further except for just making it through my front door down this path. You know, I don't know if you can see, but it's like he's almost there. But you're almost there. And it's a divinely protected path right here with the Judgment card. You are really going to be feeling like you're pushing through, you're riding high, you're going to be feeling the flow here in the future, and it's going to bring you to this Ten of Cups in your relationships, like some real emotional fulfillment and some real inspiring others to follow their passions as well. You might be fearing some change. You might have to go through some uncomfortable realizations about yourself, get rid of things about your past habits or ways of thinking that don't really work for you anymore. Maybe you were like judgmental of people in the past who didn't work at their passions for a job. Maybe you were like, oh, I can't do my hobby because that's just amateur and I don't want to be an amateur, right? But whatever those rigid ways of thinking are, expectations, if it's stopping you from doing the actual thing you're good at, it's not serving you. So get rid of those judgments about yourself, because however you make it happen is how you make it happen, and that's how you need to make it happen. There's nothing wrong with your own way of getting to the thing that makes you happy. If it's a different path than other people, you know, we all walk a different path. There's not a specific way to do anything, especially if you're neurodivergent. Like, we think of all kinds of different ways to get to the end result than most people do, and that's totally great. It's one of our strengths, and it's a strength because it serves what is best for us. I think when you listen to your body, you listen to your emotions, and you become this King of Cups here, and you're able to decipher your emotions and what your body's telling you, you can really manifest this joy and contentment better than people who don't listen to their bodies, who don't listen to themselves, and just kind of keep going through the motions and don't ever question, like, does this make me really happy? Or, you know, they just want like this material gain. But that's not really how we are at Pisces. We're definitely more needing emotional fulfillment, I think, than other signs. But anybody who is invested in doing their best in the world is going to relate to this. All right, let's pull out a couple of cards of advice, and then we'll get a gratitude card. Whoop, just like let that go. What else do we need to know? It's Pisces advice for the rest of this reading. What is it that Pisces needs to know? Oh, Three of Swords in reverse. Thank you. We have the Seven of Wands on the back of the deck, so this is what you're not seeing. So I do see a little bit of trial and error in your future, not in a bad way, but with this Tower card and the Seven of Wands, they're both like these vibes that you're confronting your truth, and like you might have a little bit of pushback from the people around you, but ultimately you're going to make it to this Ten of Wands and the Ten of Cups, 10-10. You're ending this cycle. You're not going to have to be sticking up for yourself for much longer. I think people around you are going to come around. The Three of Swords reversed is getting over pain and suffering. There's all these doves at the top of the card here now that it's reversed. these swords are just going to fall out so easily once you get going on this new path, and you're going to really be leaving all this pain behind. Whatever poverty mindset, whatever hurt you in the past, whatever took away your joy or your hope for the future is going to fall away here. It's something that it's like we learned from these hurts, but I think we learned mostly what we don't want and how to not be, which is a gift. But it's time to let those things go and move on. The Page of Pentacles, it's also a reiteration that this is a slow growth, but it is leading you to Pentacle, like financial stability, personal growth, but slow personal growth. Like you can see all these little buds here, and none of these rows are fully flowering yet. So it's like this feeling of waiting for your pentacles to mature. But it's also, I'd take this any day over a few coins, right? I'd take this field of fully planted sustenance over, like this Six of Pentacles here where you're being handed like just a couple of coins, right? So if this is where you're going to be ending up, this is a much more stable financial, material future for you. And I'm really seeing that coming in because of your patience and because of your strength and ability to see like far into the future and focus on the things that are going to make you happy rather than just like the easy short-term gain here. So I think that's just a call to have a little hope for the future and not be too hard on yourself if things haven't like come to fruition as quickly as you wanted them to. What's underneath here? The Five of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so you may have felt kind of trapped. Ooh, the Sun card. May have been feeling a little bit trapped, like you're not really sure how to get out of this 9 to 5 or find enough energy to focus on your passions. But really, it's up to you. Like, there's no rules. 5 minutes a day, an hour a day, a couple times a week. That consistency adds up over time. So don't trap yourself into thinking if you can't do it all at once up front that you're not going to be able to do it at all. That's just a lie that keeps us not going anywhere. It doesn't have to be perfect. The Five of Wands isn't this other card of like, feeling like you have to prove yourself to people. I'm really actually seeing these as separate. Like, this is you over here. You've already won all these battles, and you're kind of letting this group of people go at it with themselves, and you're like, I don't really have time for that right now. I'm gonna head home towards my Ten of Wands now. You guys, like, good luck with all that infighting, or if you feel like you still need to keep training or keep like waving around your big stick and proving to each other that you're great. That's all good, but I'm done. I've got all my wands, and I'm gonna head home and start making something of it. So I think that's a really good energy, Pisces, that you're walking away from this old petty energy, all this like feeling like you have to prove yourself, the pain of the past, and you're really moving into this mature, stable energy that's going to be really beneficial for you in the future, especially when it comes to your relationships and your general stability. I'm seeing a lot of joy and a lot of peace for you here in the future. Alright, so let's get an inspiration card for you. I'll see what we can leave with today. I like these cards a lot because they have cool questions to ponder. Go with that. What we have once enjoyed deeply, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Helen Keller. I love that so much. It's so funny. It reminds me of being young and being kind of like sad. I remember feeling sadness that I couldn't take the things with me that I really loved, or I wouldn't be able to experience all the things that I would really love firsthand. Just like as an example, like I'll never know what it's like to grow up in a small town in Italy, or I'll never know what it's like to ride a horse on my ranch. Or I should never say never, but it was like a feeling of sadness or mourning for something I wasn't able to do. But I do love those things, like, or the idea of those things. And I can keep that love regardless of where it is or where I see it in my heart. And if I deeply love that idea, it's already mine. Like, you can just claim things, right? Like, even something as simple as like a rose bush that's somewhere you come across and you're just like, I love this, it's so beautiful, rather than thinking, oh, I wish I had this on my front porch, or like, man, I wish, like, this feeling of lack, like this rose bush isn't with me. You can just claim it and say, I love this thing, it's mine now. It's a part of me. So it just made me think of that that process. But I'll read it again. What we have once enjoyed deeply, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. So I truly believe that. So the question here is, when you lost someone that you loved, what did you gain in their absence? That's a tough question. It can be really difficult losing somebody that we love. Let's ask this question instead. When we lost something that we loved, what did we gain in its absence? So if you think about a job, a home, even a relationship, but I feel like for this particular reading, this Tower card, this fear that we have of change, it would be really relevant for us to ask, when's the last time we lost something that we loved? Say it was like a car. We totaled our favorite car that we were just completely in love with and we were never able to get it back. That's pretty devastating if you've ever loved your car. Or whatever it is. You lost your favorite teddy bear or whatever. What did you gain in the absence of that thing? So maybe you got a new teddy bear that's just as dear to you, or you were able to really appreciate life after getting in that car wreck in a way that you hadn't before that experience, or just an appreciation that, like, you made it through and you feel protected. There's always something gained when we lose something, so keep that in mind here when we're going through these changes with this Tower card, that these changes are always going to bring us something new, and most of the time it's something better than we had before. So if this whole thing resonated with you, Pisces, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I'm here every other day. It really helps me grow the channel. And if you want a chance to win a free reading, go ahead and be one of my first 1,000 subscribers. All right, really appreciate you being here, Pisces. I hope this brought you some confidence for the future, a little bit of inspiration. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. And of course, I hope you live long and prosper.